Natural gas prices have been stable but subdued due to mild early winter conditions in the US, with forecasts for colder weather expected to increase demand through late winter, with production levels steady compared to 2023. ETF performance: leveraged ETFs like BOIL bullish and KOLD bearish continue to appeal to traders capitalizing on natural gas price volatility. UNG tracking natural gas futures saw increased activity amid speculative winter-driven price surges. A 4% increase in winter demand is anticipated for heating sectors compared to last year, aligning with average 5-year consumption. AI data centers energy usage is rising globally but remains a minor contributor to total natural gas demand. US production is forecast to grow slightly in 2025, especially from the Permian Basin. Price upside is contingent on colder than expected weather and geopolitical developments in energy. G'day folks, welcome back to another update on natural gas and the respective ETFs. Before we go any further, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel. Here we've got the trends on the monthly, weekly and daily for natural gas. So on the monthly, it's broken above its moving averages on the CCI, but also just a fresh breakout above the moving averages of the price chart as well, so giving us a bullish signal, very long term. On the weekly, we've also had a break above the moving averages on the CCI, but also the price, but we've had a bit of a pullback. You can see there with the CCI pulling back as well as the price. You can see it more clearly on the daily. We've actually hit this key resistance up here at 36.34, pulling back and now approaching this minor, was resistance, now it's minor support at 30.96. So you might see a bit of a bounce there, but at the moment, on the daily at least, the CCI is still trending downwards with no real sign of a pullback yet on the daily chart. If we go to the intraday chart, on the 1 hour chart, we always look at the 1 hour. If you're trading on the lower level charts, always trade in the direction of the daily time frame. So in this case, we're going short positions only, avoid going long. So you would not have taken this long position here. It's always risky. You can see there what happened. It actually broke with a big gap down on the start of trading of the week, and it's currently on the hourly. It's also bearish, so taking short trades only in the direction of the daily. Now also notice here as well, it's approaching this support at 30.96 as I said, but do notice as well we've got a very slight, it's a bearish movement on lower lows on the price chart, but slightly higher lows so far on the CCI. Now if that breaks lower than that point there, we're going to invalidate the divergence. But at the moment, that's a bullish divergence. And so if it continues to the upside from there and continues to break into that moving average on the CCI, we're going to consider this a bit of a pullback on the 1 hour time frame. But at the moment, if you look at that big bearish candle at the moment playing out there with that CCI also breaking a bit lower, but still somewhat higher than that previous low. So just keep an eye on that. Be aware of that if you're going short. Otherwise, we did have a bearish divergence back here versus higher highs on the price, broke down and actually went. And for those new to the channel, we draw a Fibonacci back to the recent low before that divergence started, and it's gone bounced off that 50%, bounced quite nicely, and then it continued and to trade in alignment with the CCI 150. So BIL, we've got a bearish sign on the chart, on the price chart, on the monthly, although there's no CCI for it on the monthly. On the weekly, it's also bearish with lower lows on the price chart, but notice we've got still a bullish divergence on the CCI, so that we may see a bounce at some point. That hasn't actually started to bounce yet, and we'll keep an eye on that as well. It's a very long-term play on this one. On the daily, remember these divergences are independent from each time frame. They're not all related on the different time frames. Here we had a few various bullish divergence, and they all bounced to some degree. And the more recent one, we had almost a double bottom there on the CCI versus lower lows on the price, and that actually bounced quite strongly, hit our minimum target range. If I drew a Fibonacci level again for those new to the channel, we take it back to the recent high before that divergence started, and that was a 23-38% target range, a minimum target level. In this case, it broke just above the 61%, and it's actually pulling back at the moment. Now notice on the daily, it's in that moving average range, so it's a neutral signal, so avoid going long or short. Now, if that was to break higher than that on the daily, we would take short trades. Sorry, we will take long trades on the intraday chart. So again, don't take any trades at the moment until we see this break either above that moving average range or break below. So at the moment, you can see there as well, the price, the CCI and the price are moving in line. There's no divergence to talk of. That's still moving pretty much in line. The CCI is moving in line with the price, so nothing really there to talk of. But like I said, if that daily breaks above the moving average range, then we take long trades in alignment with that. So next we look at KOLD, and this is the inverse. So we've got, you can see that it's broken above the moving average of the price chart. There's no CCI for it on the monthly. On the weekly, we also had a bullish movement here on the CCI, a very long-term play back in 2022 versus lower lows on the price. Sometimes these can really drag out for a long time. You can see there with that bullish divergence, and eventually did bounce quite strongly on the price. And that bullish movement is still trending higher above the moving averages on the weekly. On the daily, we do have, just trying to see this, it's actually been in this range for some time. It's actually broken below that support at 61.65 a couple of times, and it's bounced back into that range again. But notice it's actually hit in this moving average range, so again a neutral positioning, so avoid going long or short on the intraday. And if we go to the intraday chart, again avoid going long or short. You see here we did have a bullish divergence, higher lows on the CCI versus lower lows on the price, bounced. That would have hit our minimum target, and at the moment currently that's also a neutral positioning. So again, wait for this either to break to the downside to take short trades on the hourly. And lastly for UNG, this is bearish on the monthly price chart, and also you can see there on the CCI very narrow range of moving averages, and actually the CCI is stuck in that range, so it's a neutral signal on the monthly. On the weekly, we have another bullish divergence here, higher lows on the CCI versus lower lows on the price. The CCI is still moving higher and the price is still dropping, so just be wary of that. We may see a bounce at some point. Again, this is a very long-term play on the weekly. On the daily, you can see there it's been stuck in that range for a while, and it actually bounced off that minor resistance at 1520, bounced to the downside. You'll notice the CCI is also broken into that moving average range, giving us a neutral signal. So again, if this breaks higher than that moving average range on the daily, we'll take long positions on the intraday. On the 1 hour chart again, you can see there both that is also neutral, and it looks like it's about to break to the upside any hour now. But again, I'd wait for this on the daily to actually break higher to go bullish and take long trades on the 1 hour time frame. You can interchange the 1 hour with the 2 hours or the 15-minute, whatever you prefer, but I'm just showing you here the 1 hour as a test case. To support the channel more, hit that like and subscribe button and share the video. For added benefits and the cost of a coffee, consider subscribing to the Patreon page, where we look at weekly scans of bullish trending shares and insider trades that may have occurred. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.